Almost 18 minutes after now, 50 miles off the coast of New England's Nantucket Island lies a shipwreck with possibly the richest sunken treasure ever. It's the wreck of the RMS Republic, and it is as deep in international intrigue as she is in the water. The luxury liner and the sister ship, actually of the Titanic, went down in 1909, and with her, a cargo of gold coins, possibly worth $1.6 billion on today's market. And Martin Bayerle is one of the many who dreamed of finding the Republic and her booty, but you actually did. Martin, thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here, Kathleen.
You've been looking for it for 12 years now, the location of the Republic?
No, we found the wreck in 1981 after about 5 years of research. That was the amount of research that was necessary in order to find the Republic. We found her in only 2.5 days, of course, based on 5 years of research.
And she actually went down very close to where the Andrea Doria went down.
Well, that area of the Atlantic is called the Crossroads of the Atlantic, or otherwise known as the 42nd Street of the Atlantic, and it is a high collision area. But the circumstances surrounding the Republic's collision and that of the Andrea Doria are remarkably similar. If we were to take the whole Atlantic Ocean, and we were to take two shipwrecks and only put them 7.5 miles apart, you can see that they're virtually on top of one another. The Andrea Doria sank, or reported position for her sinking was actually exactly where the Republic is lying.
And there were many passengers on board both the Republic and the Italian vessel, but only 6 people actually were killed out of, what, 1,000?
Well, there were close to 900 people on board the Republic at the time of the collision. The 6 people who died, 2 passengers on the Republic and 4 on the Florida, died as a direct result of the collision. It remains today as actually the largest open sea rescue maneuver on history.
But what is reported is some people believed over time that there was booty on board. No one was really sure of it because the information was so sketchy about what really was on the Republic. Now, you believe that there's a lot of gold on that ship, gold coins, gold bullions.
Well, primarily gold coin. When the vessel sank, there was a rumor that she had $3 million in American gold eagles. And that rumor was connected to the Republic's known cargoes and known destinations. The Republic sank in January of 1909. In December of 1908, there were major earthquakes in Italy. So when the Republic sank, it was assumed by most of the researchers researching the vessel that that money that she was rumored to have had on board was destined for the earthquake victims. But when researchers researched that avenue, they dead-ended. The second theory was that since the Republic was carrying 500 tons of military supplies for the Great White Battleship Fleet, then at Gibraltar, finishing its circumnavigation of the globe, that the $3 million was possibly a Navy payroll and operational expenses. But researching that theory, again, dead-ended. As an example, the entire 1909 Navy payroll and operational expenses for the entire U.S. Navy was $6 million, so it became very unlikely that $3 million or 50% of the entire budget would be on one ship.
Now, isn't there also the possibility that we may have a little bit of a Contragate 1909 here, the fact that maybe this booty was actually for Tsarist Russia?
Well, very certainly. We developed a third theory that was heretofore untraveled, an avenue untraveled in the research. We did an extensive study of New York financial records and reconstructed the New York gold market in 1909, and were able to isolate a specific transaction. And that transaction, the parties to that transaction were the French banking consortium that was then floating a Tsarist Russian bond issue. They were purchasing gold both on the London and New York markets. The $3 million purchase occurred on January 12, 1909, and was party to 2 New York financial institutions, the French consortium purchasing $3 million, $2 million from National City Bank, which is now Citibank, $1 million from Goldman Sachs and Company.
So you believe that almost $1 billion of gold is down there. Other people have to believe it as well, including, if the money was destined for Tsarist Russia, including the KGB. Is there a possibility that the Soviets may be looking over your shoulder?
Very much so. Not looking out over our shoulder as such. Once we developed the theory, we contacted all the parties to the transaction. Citibank, Goldman Sachs, the consortium of French banks, all of whom are still in business, as well as the French consulate in Boston, made presentations to their consul general and his next higher up. And we were advised to make presentation to their Minister of Finance in Paris, which we've done.
You're going off tomorrow to go stand over your wreckage and make some kind of international claim to it?
Well, we're standing over it right now. We have a vessel on site, and our main salvage vessel is proceeding to the site. In fact, tomorrow. I'll be getting on board.
Martin, good luck to you, and thank you so much for being with us.
Much pleasure.
Thank you. And coming up in our next half hour, Shelley Duvall and Daryl Hannah, all with us. Stay tuned.